Welcome back, Skippers, presented by Owners Box Fantasy Sports. Today's segment, Monday Mailbag on a Tuesday, holiday yesterday, but we're back at it again. Here, Avery, Jared, Drew, T-Mac, like, comment, subscribe, join the Cord. You can't get into the Cord, put it down in the comments and we'll give you the link. Play Owners Box. Use code Skippers5, weekly fantasy sports. Play the salary cap game. T-Mac, let's get right into the questions.
You've got mail.
Big before the weekend trade deadline.
Yep.
Lots to talk about. I've got like 6 guys here to bring up, but we'll start with, because this is a Blue Jays show.
You're wearing a Blue Jays jersey and a Blue Jays hat,
and
though.
go to the Blue Jays
And go to
game.
the Jays game tonight. Let's go.
Potentially one of the best combos ever.
We're going tomorrow, though, so if you guys are there, shoot us a note.
Yeah, guys, why couldn't you go?
Why couldn't you go? Because we have a big game tonight, Caledonia
Another big game.
Royals.
Another big game. Update, we did win the slow pitch tourney.
Yeah, we did.
Do you want to know how important baseball is to these guys? Avery bought the tickets to the game, and then an hour later was like, Jeremy, do we play on this day? And turns out they did. So now the tickets are mine, and I had to find people to go with me.
That was the biggest
That's
thing you've
okay.
ever, like one of the best things you've ever done for us. Not gonna lie to you.
They also say they won the slow pitch tournament, but they played in a game in which the score was 1-1 until the last inning in a slow pitch tournament.
No.
was a defensive battle.
1-1
That
till the
was-
fourth, and then we mercied them.
Yes.
But how many innings?
7.
Oh, it is 7.
Yeah,
innings.
no, bats were a little tired. You know,
bats were tired.
too many beers. There was a bar at this slow pitch tournament.
Slow pitch city in London, Ontario. We were there.
Okay, Jose Berrios.
Yeah.
He's a Blue Jay.
Some people on Twitter were not happy at all.
Yeah, I
including-
think you have to be a casual to not like the trade.
Okay.
What?
There's a big if Jose Berrios is a Blue Jay beyond 2022, then we're
Yeah,
talking about this completely differently. But I didn't really like the trade. This team's not making the playoffs, so
I've said this multiple times to people while we were this weekend. Simeon Woods Richardson is what Jose Berrios, like high level. If he becomes Jose Berrios, he's had a successful career. But the chance of a prospect becoming Jose Berrios are very low. Like that hit rate of prospects becoming good MLB players isn't high at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like just look at the track record every single trade deadline of guys, this big prospect's going here and just doesn't pan out. You're a Blue Jays team who has control next year. You're looking to win this year, kind of, but we really need to try to win next year.
Yeah, I think
So I think the control next year is why you have to give up 2 prospects. Austin Martin, people like his profile. He has one of the lowest vertical attack angles in baseball. Minnesota might be able to fix him. He's good. He doesn't have the power. There's people in the system who have the same profile. Or Elvis Martinez, what is his name? Is it not Martinez, his last name?
No, it's Martinez.
Okay. He's been tearing it up, 18 years old in high A. He has the same profile but more power. So it's like, if he wasn't going off, these guys wouldn't be so expendable as they were, or Austin Martin wouldn't be. So it's like you say, you draft good players, you sign international prospects so you can trade them for major league talent when you're competing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No, obviously the Blue Jays didn't think Bo was going to turn into, I don't know, maybe they did think he was going to turn into a player he is right now, but I didn't think he was going to turn to be this good in the MLB. So drafting Austin Martin, I don't really think they need him, like based off the prospects they have. Like
Like you said, he kind of dropped right in the draft.
Yeah,
and
he
it was
dropped.
Like, they kind of fell to him. Maybe he wasn't the exact player that they wanted or were targeting, but
because you could tell, like, it's like they have to make the decision on, are we going to develop him as an outfielder? But then again, like, is Austin Martin would he have an impact on this team if you look at George Springer is signed for 3 years. So obviously you're going to want to contend starting next year. And then Ryu only has 2 years left. I don't think Austin Martin comes in this lineup in the next 2 years and plays a big factor in this team. So they had to make a decision. They wanted someone with another year, and really there weren't that many options.
And you had Grosjean's too, who's kind of a similar profile, who they've had in the system forever too. So I guess they just didn't believe in Austin Martin as much as they wanted to. They didn't think the hit tool was as good as some of the stuff I saw as well.
You know what? I didn't agree with you guys at first, and now I'm coming around to agree with you guys that, like, if they were on the clock at 5 last June and were like, from the Twins, were like, we'll give you Jose Berrios for this pick, like, they probably would have done that, right?
Yeah. Yes, for
You
sure.
also, and you have to address team needs. So the problem is we're going to talk about Turner and Max Scherzer next. The haul that they got for those guys to acquire 2 top 10 players in the league made this seem worse than it really was.
Yeah,
right?
completely.
Because they kind of got fleeced for Josiah Gray, Kyber Ruiz. Like, those are kind of similar prospects. I think Kyber Ruiz is better than Austin Martin. Josiah Gray might be better than Woods Richardson. But I mean, it didn't seem like that much. And that's why I think everyone's like, oh, we got fleeced compared to this deal. And that was more of the issue, I think, than getting rid of these prospects.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, Trey Turner has another year, and Scherzer's done. So, but the Trey Turner extra year was like the big thing for me. It's like, how are you not giving up like everything, or at least like, did they not want Gavin Lux? Because I feel like 100% they could have got Gavin Lux. The Dodgers won't even be playing him.
Yeah, or they could have given up Cody Bellinger. God damn
it just seems like this was a trade for Scherzer, and then they're like, do you want a top 5 batter as well?
Yeah.
Sure. Right? Like, I don't know how Trey Turner alone doesn't get more than
Yeah. Like Trey Turner, like alone. Like he has another year at a pretty friendly cap right now.
One of the best shortstops in the league.
Yeah.
Underrated too for a guy, but that was not the correct value, I don't think, for that team. The Dodgers again. Sandy's a Dodgers fan. Fuck, do I hate the Dodgers for moves like that, man. It's like, come on. It's like, let someone else.
No one will be cheering for the Dodgers except for Dodgers
it's
fans.
like, well, they didn't win a real ring last year.
Yeah,
so now, Mickey
ring.
Mouse ring, right?
Yep.
So they got to try and figure something out. But that makes me so angry, man.
Does this
Team's so
Trey
good.
Turner, Max Scherzer trade not feel like the MLB is now the NBA? It's like the Brooklyn Nets getting like
I don't think they.
Durant and
It was
Kyrie to add.
I don't think they
along with-
dictate. So the thing with the NBA, I think you're an NBA guy, so chime in here. The NBA players seem to dictate it way more than the
Yeah.
teams do,
Yeah,
right?
it's like the Dodgers are building a super team.
Yeah.
Well, it's the money part, right? It's the salary cap. It's how money's spent in baseball. Teams like the Dodgers and the Yankees.
luxury
The Yankees
tax,
even
yeah.
were able to do. They're doing it right now, and they're not even really contenders. Where they're spending money and they're making these trades to compete. Baseball's just different in terms of money. The Dodgers can do what they want.
Yeah,
Kind of sucks.
NBA, it's like, oh, well, I'm just going to sit out now. Like, I'm not going to play anymore until I get traded where I want. Look at James Harden.
Do you think Scherzer said no to the Padres deal? There was talk about how he
Said
potentially
climate, right? He wanted to move somewhere nice or something like that.
Yeah.
Both in California. Like,
I don't understand. Like there was a couple reports that came out that said that he might have called the trade off or
Wow.
potentially.
I didn't see anything. I would be surprised.
Because that's why
San
there was the
Diego, are you
confusion
kidding me?
between reporting the trade and there was like a 4-hour buffer time where it was like shifting towards now he's going
I
to the
think they
Dodgers.
knew. I think they knew what they could get from the Padres, and they tried to run it up on the Dodgers. So it was like, hey, this is what they're giving me. The deal's almost done. We're telling you that it's almost done, so you guys get excited. But I'll tell the Dodgers that it's almost done too.
They're driving the price up on.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good negotiating skills right there. But I don't mind the deal. Actually, I don't fucking care.
They
about
leak
the
it to
deal.
an insider tweets.
How do
Max
you-
Scherzer looking like he's going to the Padres.
Okay, let's rank these grades. Rank the trades so far. Give it a grade. Jose Berrios.
I would say it's an A. It's an A for the Jays.
A plus.
It's an A with an asterisk. They sign him to a long-term deal after
Okay.
2020.
Trey Turner, Max Scherzer. It's got to be.
I mean,
Who
it's an A plus. I think it's a B. It's a
B for the Nats?
Yeah, like a B minus for the Nats, but a A plus for the Dodgers.
I'm gonna go C plus for the Nats, A plus plus for the Dodgers.
I'll agree with that, Drew.
Yeah.
What do you guys like? The White Sox loaded up the pen, 2 on deadline day. Kimbrel being one of them.
This is a great addition for the White Sox. That
Like an
bullpen's
odd
yeah.
addition.
No, it's
kinda-
perfect.
Oh yeah, I'd agree. It's I
I didn't
think it's
think
very
they were.
good too.
There was a tweet that was sent out that 10 teams were in the running for Craig Kimbrel on that deadline day, and I didn't expect the White Sox to be right in the mix there, but man, that bullpen is really good.
So how much? I like the deal because it's kind of outside the box. You wouldn't think to get another closer if you already have one of the top closers in the league. But I think that's good for the White Sox there. Just think about in the playoffs, man. You need so many high leverage situations. If you're used to pitching in high leverage situations, you can pitch in a high leverage in the 7th, and who fucking cares if you're the closer or not in the playoffs?
Yeah,
right?
that's
It's like
very true.
kind of ego thing.
I think it's perfect because Hendricks can keep being the closer, and Kimbrel doesn't have to be that guy, but he can just be an elite arm in the bullpen, which is like perfect at this point in his career.
And then Madrigal goes to the Cubs, right? I think it's another A for the White Sox here. Cubs.
I'm gonna give this an AA. I think they both did well here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was like, Alcoholics Anonymous is the only AA I know. Wasn't sure where we were going there. But no, Madrigal's fine. The Cubs got to reload. The Cubs, when they won the World
man.
Series, got players from trades, right?
Yep.
So they're just trying to make these trades now. Chris Bryant, right, T-Mac? He goes to the Giants.
Yes, he does.
This was the I
Disappointment.
guess the chalk trade, eh? Like everyone said, like the Giants needed a third baseman. He was going to the Giants.
Yeah.
And then it actually happened. It happened pretty late in the deadline. It almost looked like they weren't even going to move him.
Quick note, Jeremy, is that on the Owner's Box Instagram, when the four of us predicted all the deals, Avery just went ahead and just got everything correct.
Yeah, all 3 correct.
Did I?
Yeah.
Who did I get?
Chris Bryant,
Trevor Story,
Max Scherzer.
Yeah.
Some people
Trevor
do this.
Story was the craziest one. We'll talk about that later.
So I was about to talk about the White Sox. I'll go off topic a little bit here.
Okay.
So you know how they said Craig Kimbrell 10 teams? How much do you think they leak this information? Like someone in the White Sox Cubs front office says like Ken Rosenthal, hey, I need you to tweet this.
That's
right?
what I was just saying about Scherzer.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It'd be
Tweet Scherzer to the Padres, drive the price up.
Exactly.
It'd be
like
really
10
cool
teams
to like
know the actual information.
have a day where you're in the front office and just like
see them like,
what's
hey, like I
everything's
need you to
going
go talk to Ken. Like tell him he can drop this information for us, but it's also like helping you out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's something I like to think of at the trade deadline. It's a fascinating time.
It must be so fun to get into that position to be the guy that they tell you the leaks to.
Yeah, war room time.
Yeah.
All right, so Chris Bryant goes. Reported first is Joey Bart goes to the Cubs and Lamont Wade Jr. goes to the Cubs. That's just not true. That did not happen. I was like, oh, that would have been a lot, I think, for Chris Bryant.
Yeah, especially when Buster, like great year, but like he's not their future. Joey Bart has always been their guy.
I think what happened was Chris Bryant drove the price down when he said he was going to re-sign with the Cubs as soon as free agency starts.
Oh, geez.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, he said that. So
That's not a good look.
They took all the leverage away from the Cubs, right? Like,
Yeah, that is true.
Well, if he was smart, he wouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
So he could get better prospects on the team he wants to go
Yes.
back to.
Yes,
So
exactly.
it makes no sense.
Yeah,
at
there's
all.
no sense at all.
I mean, he went
cracked under pressure.
he went to University of San Diego. I can ask Sandy, but I doubt that's a Ivy League caliber school out there. I'm sure they like to have a lot of fun.
He was going to go to the Phillies and play with Bryce Harper because aren't they like high school buddies?
No, I think they're both from Nevada. I think they're
like that.
different
There's
ages
some
though.
sort of connection between them.
Yeah.
That never happens, when a guy gets dealt and then free agency comes and he comes right back home.
Yeah.
yeah, you
That's
see
like
that.
I think you
very
say it
often.
because all you know. You just got to move on a little bit. Expand your horizons.
It used to be an NHL thing, but really it doesn't even happen there anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't. You don't see it very often.
Next, the Yankees moves T-Mac.
Yeah, Rizzo and Gallo. Big play this week on Owner's Box is Gallo, the short porch in New York, homestand.
Everyone's looking forward to seeing that. Has he played any home games? They haven't played, right? They
I
were in
don't.
Miami. I don't think he's played at home yet.
No, because Rizzo hit all those home runs on the road, right?
Yes.
Now that I think about it, both these guys in tune for
I've
some
never been a Rizzo
Bronx
guy.
bombs.
Yeah.
Like I've always understood that he's a good locker room guy, good teammate, but I've never understood. Like I never thought he was just a great player.
You made a good point last time that it's going to be like Mark Teixeira at first base. He's going to be late career, locker room guy, doesn't really contribute that much on the field.
But he seems to be doing fine. Just
I mean, he had a
on the
good start, right?
Yeah, it just doesn't do anything
So-
really for me. The hauls they got weren't crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Joey Gallo goes. Who was Clark Schmidt won that deal? I think he was probably the top prospect that goes back, and then Texas makes another move. Who did they trade? Kyle Gibson and Ian Kennedy, and Spencer
Yes.
Howard goes to
Where did Ian Kennedy go? I didn't even
Phillies.
see
the Phillies. They both go to the Phillies together, right?
Yeah.
So then they get Spencer Howard and Clark Schmidt. I might be wrong on Clark Schmidt. If I'm wrong, sorry, but I think he's good. So two right-handed pitching prospects who haven't really panned out yet. At the
that. Yeah,
major
hasn't
league level.
Spencer Howard just been a dud?
Yes. But
Yeah, but give him some. I think it's gonna
Similar to Nate Pearson.
be a bad trade for the Phillies once this is all said and done.
Yeah.
I mean, back to the Yankees, like they're not, just like the Blue Jays. They're probably not going to make the playoffs. So, like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, it's just having a
that team just seems like a bunch of like just
bitches. What were you gonna
bitches.
say?
I'm gonna say oddballs mixed together. It just
Yeah, it's a
doesn't
mess.
feel like a very good mesh of players. There's like no speed in that lineup, especially when Gary Sanchez is catching.
They needed left-handed hitters
Yes,
more than
that
they
is
needed air
true.
to breathe.
Yeah,
So they
same as the
Fair.
Blue Jays though.
yeah, and we didn't.
We didn't get any left-handed hitters, but
Before we get, we want to talk about Javi Baez, but I just need to know, as a casual baseball fan, like what is going on with Francisco Lindor? Like, how bad is this that Javi Baez is brought in?
Because he's hurt right now. He's on the IL.
No, but like, is he? He's not supposed to. Is he supposed to be back? Right?
Yeah, he'll play second base.
Yeah, I think Lindor's gonna play second base now.
Yeah, or no,
Or Baez is gonna play second base.
Javi Baez should be playing second base.
Baez did come out and say he wants to play
with,
for the Mets.
Yeah, he wants to play with
Yeah.
Lindor.
Before he
That's
got
fact,
traded.
for sure.
Right. But I just can't believe, like, I just can't comprehend, even as someone who plays the sport, that this is going this badly for Lindor in New York.
I don't know if it's going bad for Lindor on the field as much as this is like maybe he'll be more motivated off the field, playing with his friend, kind of thing.
Yeah,
They're
I
not
don't think that
replacing
changes
Lindor
it.
with Baez, right?
Yeah, no.
No, yeah, I know that they paid him all the money. This has to. They're gonna have to.
They gotta
do everything they
coexist,
can to
yeah.
make it work. But it's just, I can't believe how poorly this has gone for him since he got here. It's crazy.
I mean, the Mets have.
Mets.
I'm pretty sure the Yankees have a better record than the Mets or something like that, or more wins.
So the Mets are in first. There,
Yeah, the Mets.
Yeah, and the Mets are having a successful season, and it's seen as the Yankees are having a bad season. I saw this tweet on Twitter. This wasn't an original thought, but it's just a funny thing. New York, man, crazy place. Next is the Javi Baez trade, right?
Yeah.
So he goes to the Mets. Also, I can't get behind these Cubs players that I think they're going to make a huge splash when they go to these new teams, right?
There's a reason why this team is just got broken apart is because
Yeah.
even the sum of these parts didn't work out the last couple of years, right?
Yeah,
won-
it worked
World
1
Series,
year.
yeah.
Yeah.
But that was
No, yeah, of
2016,
course,
was it
yeah,
not?
it's been a while.
2017 maybe? I forget which year, but it wasn't 2018, 2019. It's been a while, and they've tried to keep the same core, and it hasn't worked since. So, what are your guys' thoughts on this deal? I know
It's just going to spark the team.
Yeah.
Right? Last in runs created or whatever, runs scored.
yeah.
He's an exciting player going to a very boring offense in the Mets. So
But if you look at the lineup card, it's good. Like,
yeah,
We've said that from day one too.
Yeah.
Like this
pitching's
should
really
be good,
nice.
right?
Yeah, hopefully DeGrom's healthy.
No, DeGrom, they shut him down 2 more weeks. His odds for Cy Young today went from -1,000 to +1,200.
Oh my God.
So usually someone knows something we don't if odds in Vegas go from that, but it looked like he's getting shut down, I thought, for 2 more weeks at least. So that could be bad. And I also had the MLB futures, the record, I had them under 92 wins. So I pray for them to lose every single game the rest of the way.
The last one is Starling Marte, and I just can't think of someone who fits better with being an Oakland A than him. Just a great player who is very rarely spoken about.
Yeah.
The trade also was just hilarious because the Marlins
Straight up.
is straight up, but the Marlins are paying the entire salary.
Yeah.
$4
Yeah, that's
million.
Oakland
He's a
A's way to
13
do.
mil sal, and for the rest of the year, it's they're paying him 4. They're covering 4, so they literally just gave away Lizardo and just took Marte.
Yeah,
Just compare the Yankees and the A's here. Yankees not in playoff spot. We're going to trade for 2 big contract guys. And then the A's are we're actually in the playoffs, but we can only afford for you to pay the guy we're going to bring in. It's they need to fix that in baseball.
I think that's what is the charm about baseball, though, right? It's hey,
so.
it's like the Rays, it's the A's. They don't have the salary, but hey, we'll beat the shit out of you. The team paying triple the amount of salary during the year.
The teams like the Rays and the A's are the ones for people who enjoy watch baseball, really into it, or it brings you a lot of joy watching them be successful in the playoffs. But then when the MLB has Rob Manfred, the boys think about it, they're this is terrible for us.
Yeah,
We're not
this
going to
is
make
terrible.
any money.
Oh, fuck
Yeah.
Rob. Right?
Great trade though for the Oakland. I love
Jesus
this.
Lizardo goes the other way. He's struggled mightily this year at the major league level, and then goes down to AAA and has struggled maybe even more.
Yep.
But like I said before to you guys, if any team's going to fix Jesus Lizardo and their plethora of pitching prospects, it's going to be the Miami Marlins. They have about 9 pitchers that are legit top 100 dynasty prospects.
Yeah.
It's just so good. Max
Sixto
Meyer,
Sanchez.
Sixto, Edward Cabrera, guys like that, just in the minors. It's going to be an incredible team.
Why don't we just talk? I know we were going to talk about it, but why don't we just talk about Lizardo now? His roster percentage, 34%. What's the outlook on him? I know we talked Trevor Rogers maybe seeing less starts. So does Lizardo have a role here?
And someone mentioned us on Twitter. I usually respond. I answered. I said I have no idea what to do with Jesus Lizardo. And then I see an Eric Cross tweet. He goes, "Yeah, he should be rostered in 12-team leagues for the chance he can give you good innings the rest of the season," which I kind of agree with.
You're hoping for innings. You're hoping for strikeouts. You're not going to get many wins with the new Marlins team
No.
that sold everyone off.
No, I
And
don't.
it's
How many
prone to-
pitchers can you trust to get you wins, though.
I mean,
There's
on good teams,
so many. I would like to know how many 10-win pitchers there are this year. It can't be a lot, right?
I guess, but he's also prone to blow up your ERA with the
For sure. But this is a guy on your wire. This isn't a guy that you're trading for, right?
No, I mean, I won't pick him up because he's just gonna blow up my ERA in a roto league.
I definitely don't trust him.
But I
True.
take a chance
got-
on him in an owner's box contest for the strikeouts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got the start, and I think he pitched 5 innings, and he had a 5.4 ERA in the game.
He pitched already?
Yes.
He started?
Yeah.
I didn't see
so
that.
it looks
I
like
was
they're
off
giving
my
him a
phone
shot
pretty
in the
much all weekend.
rotation. So I would 34% rostered for a guy with the potential upside. I'd probably pick him up and just not pitch him until I like a matchup.
Yeah, we've seen him. We've seen what he can do in that wild card game
Yes.
a couple years ago, but that was one game. And we
That's true.
kind of had some good outings after that. But Jesus Lizardo, I guess I'd pick him up if I have to. Injuries, and then I'm not. It is not an auto start. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, that's for damn sure.
So Avery says that Tyler should pick him up in
Yeah. Yeah.
the old
Guys like
Owners
T-Mac
Box
should
League.
100%.
I know
Oh
that guy.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. His upside is high enough that you should be taking a chance on him.
Yes. I
Okay,
agree.
let's try to move along here to some people that didn't make moves or some question marks from the deadline. Let's start with Trevor Story.
Yeah, he came out, he quoted and said that he was confused why he wasn't moved. So,
He's a free agent, isn't he? After the
well,
year,
apparently, if he gets signed by another team, the Rockies get draft
Compensation
picks,
pick,
right?
yeah.
So,
Yeah. So they're basically not trading him and taking a 35th overall pick as their like compensation.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Like, you're telling me that the return wasn't there because looking like Trevor Story does not want to come back based off those quotes. So they must know that he probably wasn't coming back, and you're telling me the return wasn't worth it. You'd rather have the draft pick. It's pretty crazy for that Rockies. Also, Marquez. I thought Marquez was like potentially going to get dealt too, and
That would
Or
have been nice.
Freeland too.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, they just traded for Gomber too. He's been a nice piece, but
I mean, what's the GM doing? Like the Arenado trade was horrible.
Yeah, the Arenado trade
They
was
don't
horrible.
trade Story. Like, are they just going to be horrible forever?
yeah, the chance you're taking a 35th round pick over a guy who's already a major leaguer or
Right.
a prospect who you've seen play professional baseball, I think I'd rather take the chance on the trade every day.
And
of the
also,
week.
they let LeMahieu walk to free agency. No trade before that either.
I was literally just gonna say, I just think about they're all hitters, but like it never had pitching, but like all the hitters that have left Colorado that are still playing right now. If we compiled these guys and built a lineup, it would look.
Even
Look
the
very nice.
Like
the
Tulo.
Tulo trade was horrendous for
Yes.
them.
I
The
watched
prospects
that.
they got back were,
Jose Reyes, right?
Yeah, Jose Reyes, and then he beat his wife, and
and then they had
he gone.
was it Hoffman?
Jeff Hoffman.
Yes.
went.
Okay. And he was like pretty highly touted back then.
And he didn't play well, and now he's pitching okay for Cincinnati.
But
It's just brutal.
that's
I don't know.
That's definitely a tough look because there was a lot of teams interested. I heard even the Blue Jays were calling.
It's
So,
like one of those
please don't want
franchises.
too
It's
many
just like, I don't think the Rockies will ever contend again in my lifetime. That's like a feeling I have.
It's hard to believe in them.
I know. It's just that the
It really
franchise.
is. Like, just imagine being a fan. You know, as much as I hate the Dodgers for the moves that they made, that team wants to win, right? It's got to be
Yeah.
refreshing when you just go pick up everyone who's good. But
And I mean, they got the Broncos, the Avalanche, and the Nuggets. They're doing good there, but like,
It's bad when like Oakland can make it work and they find ways to contend with lack of money, and Colorado's never done it. And they've no doubt had better like.
wait, they went
they've
to
had
one World
superstars.
Series. They went to one World
didn't they
Series.
lose to the Red Sox?
Yeah, 2007 got swept. Besides that, they've had
So
no
bad.
other good
Like
years.
when has Oakland had a Nolan Arenado or a Troy Tulowitzki or in the last whatever X amount of years
Yeah.
now?
Oh, it's been like Jason Giambi was the last time. they had
Chavez.
someone like that.
The Red Sox.
I don't know why you put the Red Sox.
Well,
what were your
they didn't
thoughts?
really do anything. Like the
Schwarber.
Yankees got better, the Rays got better with Nelson Cruz, the Jays got better.
What do you think of this? Are the Red Sox a World Series contending type team?
Yes.
Yeah.
I do think they are, but the pitching
Yeah.
is
You have
a
Chris-
I think
struggle.
that they're not. I think they're very surprised how this team has played so far this year. I don't think they believe in the roster quite yet, and that
Oh,
they
you
view
think
Chris Sale
the
as like their deadline addition, and
Yeah.
maybe
Correct.
it all comes together and
They really.
have
I
this
think
incredible season.
I
but-
think the thing that makes us think they're World Series contender is just no matter how their rosters have been in the past 10 years, they find a way to get there.
Yeah.
I think that's what my confidence level is personally is because I know how they play in the playoffs.
They're
not the
need-
Toronto Maple Leafs, right?
Yes.
They're not going to fuck off in the first round every single time.
Yeah.
They know how to win.
Well, I heard that they were in on Scherzer because there weren't many. We talked about there weren't many pitching options. There was Berrios, Scherzer, and Kyle Gibson.
Yeah.
And they looked at how much the Jays gave up. Like, it was pretty big. Like, the Jays did give up 2 of their top 5 prospects.
Yeah, like they're not giving up Jeter Downs and Blaze Jordan for.
Yeah. But the first base situation in Boston is horrendous.
Well,
Bobby
Kyle
Dalbec is just.
Kyle Schwarber's never played first base, right?
Is he going to.
It seems the only logical thing, right?
Yeah, because JD Martinez, I don't think they're going to
already
throw
have
him
a-
in the outfield.
They already have more outfielders than they can play before they had Schwarber.
Yeah. So someone is going to learn how
he
to
can
play
just
first base.
DH or
Actually, I
JD.
guess JD Martinez can play
Oh
first.
yeah, actually yeah, they can play
Yeah.
JD.
But
I don't know.
Needed to add
I don't know.
a
I was
pitcher.
expecting. I thought,
They really did. Bullpen.
I wonder
Well,
how
then
close they were.
They
I
keep
wonder-
sending Hawk down too, and he's by far
Yes.
been their best pitcher.
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
No.
And then I really thoroughly enjoyed the Mariners stuff over the last 4 or 5 days.
This is brutal.
So dumb. This is
I
another
mean,
fan base who's just longest playoff drought in baseball, right, Jer?
Yep. 2001, last time they made playoffs, and then you do something like this. I really thought that they were potentially going to get Trevor Story, but
In the end, they lost Graveman, added Castillo, right?
and added Toro. Toro would be an
Toro's
everyday
the
player.
piece. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is my thought on it. Of course, frustration from guys who've been around, who's really been around though, like Seager.
Seager.
That's kind of
They get paid way
Haniger.
too much money.
But this team isn't good. This team isn't good enough yet.
No.
I don't think it's a bad decision for him to deal this guy, but he took the heat from the locker room and then he goes let me make it up to you
Yeah.
and let's get you guys someone back. It just doesn't really make sense.
I don't
stick to
know
your
if that
guns.
was his thought
I
process
don't know
either,
if they
right?
knew Diego Castillo was someone that they could get, and then they knew that they could use Toro. Like they would get him at a cheap price because they did get him at a cheap price.
Yeah, the
for-
analytics people love Toro.
Yeah.
And we love him because he's Canadian. People forget from
Yeah.
Quebec.
But making-
Abraham Toro, big French name.
A lot of people do forget that. I myself included. I actually forget that. But the fact that they didn't make another deal after Diego Castillo, they just got worse.
who's their ace?
really?
Logan Gilbert.
Kikuchi.
Yeah.
It's
The pitching staff is not good.
Well, they
That's
have
right. It's like
Yeah.
In what way do they have
But
60
it's like,
wins?
but
I
it's
don't
like
get it.
2001's your last playoff. Like, do you have to
Yeah.
look at that division? It's like the A's and
if I'm
Astros.
this is
They have
the thing
good
though.
pitching
I'm the
prospects,
GM.
too.
If I'm the GM, I know this team isn't good enough.
Yeah.
I'm
but you give
willing
your
to move
closer
these
to the
guys.
Astros. It's like
Yeah.
Why
and
did the Rays-
the
Yeah.
same division.
Why did the Rays in playoff position trade away Castillo?
Has to,
Why the
I
same
don't know
reason why
what.
he wasn't just their closer the whole year. It's just like anyone in that bullpen is up for grabs pretty much, right?
Do you know what they got back for Castillo?
No.
It was.
I'd have to look into it because Castillo's. I don't think this was a salary thing because Castillo's salary is like $500K. So
I
it's
don't even think that's league minimum.
really.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Fuck. I'd have to look, but I know his salary is like it's not high, so it wasn't a shed of salary situation for the Rays. So interesting, very interesting. But Seattle Mariners fan base, they gotta be hurting.
Okay, Kumar Rocker and the Mets. They
Yeah,
go
so this
separate
kind
ways.
of shocked
He
everyone.
didn't pass a physical? Is that what it was?
Well, he had Tommy John. I think he needs Tommy John. That was the thing, or he had it, or something like that. But they were $1 million apart, and then Steve Cohen goes out and tweets. He said, "These prospects at their slot make 5 times their value, and I want to put money into it." But that would claim like you sign the player and then you take the risk no matter what. Kumar Rocker wasn't the same player he was when he was a freshman or sophomore, when he was pitching those 18 strikeouts against Duke, that no-hitter. He's not. His average fastball velocity is down almost
it
2
is.
miles an hour.
Then why'd they draft him 10th?
Because he just fell.
good
Like
question.
you draft him 10th for you saying, "Oh, there's so many red flags at your slot here. We'll sign you for way under slot, so I can sign more players later in the draft for over slot." That's why you draft a guy like that who's falling. But he's like, "Oh no, I know my worth, whatever." There's red flags in Kumar Rocker's delivery for injury issues. Mason McRae, VCU guy who does a lot of prospect stuff. He's tweeting good stuff about Kumar Rocker and why they shouldn't sign him, and like the red flags there for injuries. It sucks for a Mets fan when you get new ownership and you're like, oh, they're going to spend the money, and then you don't sign your first round pick in the first year.
If you didn't want to pay for him, why did you pick him? Pick someone
It happens to a lot.
For.
A lot of people don't sign.
Do you think the
such a
negotiation
weird
process must have
broken.
started after?
What do you mean?
Like some of these players negotiate before a little bit.
Yeah.
Some of them do. Yeah.
And then I'm guessing Rocker fell, and then it was like, let's pick him and we'll negotiate after. And then
yeah.
Okay.
They do that.
They need to revamp the whole MLB draft process.
it's crazy.
Make it like not only like college, make it whole worldwide. At a certain age, you draft them in. Make it like
No,
the
that-
NHL.
that-
I heard
Baseball will
something.
never do it. They're just so different. They're different in the salary side,
Yeah.
and then the draft side is there's so much more to it. Like the way baseball is played and all the different places you can go play baseball and be found as
Yeah.
prospects,
Yeah,
and
you
the
got-
age that you can talk to
They're
these
like-
guys
you can be
at.
Jay
You
signs
s-
Vladdy at what, like 16?
You sign July 1st of your 16-year-old year
That's
if you're an
insane.
international prospect.
Why don't we just
insane.
make it like a age 16, 18, whatever draft worldwide from all different regions?
You'd have some crazy story like undrafted free agent, like NFL undrafted free agent. The stories you'd have undrafted MLB players
Like-
with the amount of players that have to
Yeah.
go in everyone's pipeline would be
I mean,
crazy.
whoever
Yeah,
has the best
100
scouting
round
would do
draft.
the best, right?
Yeah.
Like the Red Wings in hockey, they got Datsuk and Zetterberg in 7th round picks, right? Like because they have the best scouting. So the team that has best scouting will find the
They
hidden
also
gems.
have two.
Hey, you want to make the MLB draft more unwatchable? It would be that.
Exactly,
Because
100
it'd be
round draft.
100 round draft. Somebody's getting picked in like the 29th pick, and the guys who are talking about him like, I have no idea who this guy is. I
and
can't.
you,
Well, we don't
and
have
the
to
guys
find out
talking about
rounds.
the guys talking about them really don't know who they are either.
Oh.
I don't know. It's
It's a
ugly.
crazy system for sure.
Definitely could
It sucks
fix
for Mets,
some of
yeah.
it. Yeah, they
Yeah.
could definitely make some improvements. But
We'll have to take a deep dive one day, maybe.
yeah, and actually understand the entire draft
Deep
process.
dive on the MLB draft process.
Yep.
Yeah.
Second to last question here. The strikeout machine, Joe Adell, is getting promoted. Where do you guys see his fantasy outlook or fantasy perspective?
The strikeout machine kind of turned down the strikeouts a little bit.
To 29.5%.
Under 30.
I think that's total, but I think it went. I saw someone tweet 38%, like 33, 28, 23 or something recently. So it's been going down. But he has the skills to be good. Everyone knows that he was a top prospect before he came into the league last year, right? Do
no
we
one's
like
expecting
him?
a lot, so
No.
maybe he'll surprise people here with
If
the
you're in
promotion.
the bottom half of your league, take a chance. If you're in the top half, don't take
Sure,
a chance.
yeah, that's it. Pretty good. You need high ceiling players.
Right, he fills out your home run and stolen base categories,
Yeah.
right?
He could get on a huge streak.
But in points league, you just destroy your
If he's striking out, yeah.
Yeah.
just give him
he
negative
struck
5
out.
every game.
Yeah.
Is that
What are we
5
doing?
strikeouts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did that preseason show, and I did the Angels as their win total under, and I can't remember what I read off on his strikeout rate, but it was just hilarious. Like it was
Yeah.
so bad.
I mean, I would like to see the strikeout rates of every rookie who's coming this year too. Some of them must be horrendous as well.
Usually I'm a big believer in the strikeout guys. I don't know what it is with Adell, though. It was, what do you have, like 55 strikeouts in 30 games last year?
Yeah.
And then batting 100, so I'm kind of like, I don't know if I want to try it again.
He's a big prospect. He's got the tools. Hopefully, he puts it together.
Yeah. Hopefully, yeah. We're cheering for him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Last question, T-Mac.
Jeremy wants everybody's new World Series predictions again.
After
now
the
that we're
trade.
post-trade deadline.
White Sox.
Wow.
I just can't pick the Dodgers. I just don't
I
want them
know.
to win.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I think it would be the easy choice.
It's Dodgers, White Sox.
I mean, if the Dodgers win the division, it's going to be really hard for them not to win the World Series. But if they play in a wild card
I
game,
would love them to lose the wild card
they
game.
could lose the wild card game.
Who starts the wild card game?
I think they just pitch them all 2 innings, you know?
Yeah.
Let them all get a chance.
Someone's ego's
See-
getting bruised.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see who fucks up first.
But I'm looking at them playing the Padres in the wild card game, and I'm like, who pitches for the Padres? Like, Darvish has not been very good,
They're
but
going to start Kershaw. They can't go against the franchise.
yeah,
I think Scherzer pitches a wild card game.
What if Scherzer pitches and doesn't go well?
that would be awesome.
That'd be awesome.
Padres fan would love that.
Yeah.
That'd be a
Well,
great game.
Fernando Tatis just went on the IL again,
Yeah,
too.
true.
So,
The Dodgers do have to win that wild card game. That is a good point.
yeah.
They do.
Well, I hope the Giants stay in
Anyone could
first.
win in a one game.
We play you've lost to teams you should never lose
Yes.
to, and you beat teams that you should never beat in baseball.
because the Dodgers are still like, I think like 3 games back of the Giants. And the Giants, like, I mean, they could definitely take the division.
If we have a Giants Dodgers series, that's gonna be so good. They hate each other so much.
Yeah.
That would be good.
I think they'd play each other next, wouldn't it? 1 versus 4 would play next.
Yeah.
Or who knows if they even have the best record there?
Yeah.
I'd think so.
And we're gonna have like Brewers and Mets over on the other side.
Who's your World Series prediction, T-Mac? Blue Jays?
No. I keep thinking about how much I liked watching the Rays last year. And I like the Rays.
I kind of forget about the Rays.
Me
It's
too.
like, man.
I don't know.
But
I don't
they
think-
definitely have a really good team.
Well, that's all we got. Long episode. Hopefully you guys liked it. Thanks for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe, join the Cord. We'll give you a link if you need it. We'll see you guys next time.